Hello, dear friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Also, welcome to your heart-opening yoga flow. Some nice to have items would be 2 yoga blocks or 2 thick books. However, you do not need these items because all that you truly need is you. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, sweet friends, join me down on the ground, finding a cross-legged seat. Before we get moving today, I invite you to just find some organic movement. So some movement that will feel really supportive and loving today. So that could be, just swaying from side to side. It could mean some neck circles, so drawing some circles with your nose. Could mean tick-tocking the head from side to side. Maybe even just shaking out the hands. And then whenever you feel satisfied, I invite you to explore stillness. Let's start off by looping the shoulders forward, up and back a few times. Perhaps visualizing the shoulder blades gliding down the back body as you do this action. Opening the heart slightly here. Wonderful, find stillness. Tuck in your chin slightly. Chin is about parallel to the earth. Place your hands on your thighs and then turn your palms so that way they're facing towards the sky with your fingertips softening and curling in. Breathe in through your nose. And then when you breathe out, either look down and past your nose towards the earth, or you can close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Slow and even breath in through the nose. Breathe out through your nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. I invite you to continue breathing, finding a natural rhythm that feels loving and supportive today. So you may have noticed that our palms are facing towards the sky. And I decided to do this because I feel like it is really fitting for today's heart-opening yoga class. So with our palms facing towards the sky, is to signify that we are open to receiving. So perhaps you just take a moment here just to consider what you feel open to receiving, if anything. So there's no right or wrong answer here, just something to consider. And maybe when you have landed on something, perhaps you use this to inform your practice or to guide your practice here on your mat. And perhaps maybe you even carry this with you off of your yoga mat. And if you're like, you know what, that's not really my thing, it's all good. Today we will get a beautiful stretch in the chest. We will also explore postures that can help strengthen the back body. So either way, you're gonna get a good little workout in there today. All right, I invite you to take a breath in through your nose. And then when you breathe out, open your eyes. Great work. Turn your palms down. Breathe in here. Breathe out. All right, release your right fingertips to the earth. Breathe in to sweep your left hand high into the sky. Find length through the side body first. Breathe in. Breathe out to reach over towards the right side. You can lower down onto your palm or onto your forearm, whatever feels best for you today. Just stay grounded in the left side body as best as you can. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to rise up and release your left fingertips to the earth. Breathe in to send your right hand high into the sky. Breathe out to reach over towards the left side. Breathe in to come back through center, releasing right hand to the ground. And then breathe out to reach over towards the right side of your mat. Breathe in, coming back through center, just taking on over to the other side. And then breathe out, reaching towards the left side of your mat. And then breathe in, coming back to center, breathing out to release your hands to your sides. Great work. Let's make our way to all fours now. And now for this next posture and movement, I invite you to place yourself in a tabletop position so that way you are facing towards one of the long edges of your mat. All right. So we arrive in a tabletop position with the wrists stacked underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hip points. Rock your pelvis forward, creating length in the low back body, and look down at the ground. Wonderful. Now send your right foot off to the side. Your whole foot presses into the ground and your toes are facing forward. On your next breath in, reach your tailbone towards the sky, drop your belly, open on up through the heart. And then breathe out to round through your back body, hugging belly button in towards your spine in cat pose variation. Breathe in, finding your cow pose variation, opening on up through the heart. And then breathe out to round through the back body, chin releases towards your chest. One more round. Breathe in to open on up through the front of the body. And then breathe out to open on up through the back body. And then breathe in to find a neutral spine here. Now walk your hands to the left side of your mat. Feel free to make use of a yoga block here. You can actually place your left palm on that block or fingertips, your choice. And then place your right hand on your rib cage. Smear the peanut butter, smear the jelly, whatever you like to put on your toast, across your rib cage, opening on up through the heart. Before sending your right hand high into the sky, follow your hand and look up. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to reach over towards the left side. All right. Feel free to stay here, or you can press your hips forward to open up through your heart even more, as well as through your hips. Breathe into your right side body, pressing into your full foot, the top of your foot, as well as your right foot. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to lower your right hand to the ground, and then walk your hands back through center, wrists stacked underneath the shoulders, and then bring that right foot in. Great. Step the left foot out, toes are facing forward, that left leg is straight. We're pressing on into the top of the right foot to keep us grounded. On your next breath in, reach your tailbone towards the sky, lift your heart, lift your chin, and then breathe out to round through the spine. Breathe in, drop in the belly, stretching in through the inner left thigh, and then breathe out to round through. Breathe in, breathe out. And then on your next breath in, make your way to a neutral spine. Now walk your hands to the right side, Right palm is on the ground. And now this time, place your left fingertips on your right wrist. Now draw a line with your left fingers up your arm, across your chest, and then to the sky. Look up towards your hand. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to reach your left hand towards the right side of your room. Push your hips forward if you are looking for a bit of a deeper stretch, a bit of a deeper opening. Pressing into the outer edge of that left foot, really feeling that connection to the earth. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to lower your left hand down to the ground. And then walk your hands back to center, wrist stacked underneath the shoulders, and then bring your left foot in. Great work, everyone. Now you can turn your body to face towards the top edge of your mat. Again, we are in a tabletop position. All right, curl your right toes under and then slide your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to hug your right knee in towards your heart center before stepping your right foot through. Permission to walk that left knee back in space if you're looking for a deeper stretch. All right, friends, feel free to make use of your yoga blocks here once again. You can place them so that way they're framing your right foot, placing your palms on the blocks or fingertips, your choice. This is a really great way to lift the earth up to meet you and to show some love, gratitude, and appreciation for your body. So totally up to you if you would like to make use of those items. Breathe in, breathe out. On your next breath in, press into all that is touching the earth. Hug the thighs in towards the midline, so they're kind of like hugging in towards one another as we send our hands high into the sky. Wonderful. Peel that right hip crease back, just helping us deepen into the stretch. Heart is facing forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Now interlace your fingers overhead and then bring your hands to the back of your head and then extend your thumbs down to connect with your neck. Open the elbows wide. Breathe in to lift your heart, lift your chin slightly. Perhaps you consider what you are open to receiving here, if anything. And then breathe out. On your next breath in, send your hands high into the sky, releasing that bind. And then breathe out to fold forward. Plant your left palm on the ground or on your yoga block. And then breathe in to send your right hand high into the sky. Finding a little spinal twist here. Following your hand. So the right knee may actually want to spill out here, but we're going to encourage that right knee to hug in. Breathe in, and then breathe out to lower your right hand down to the earth. Plant both palms on the mat. Connect to your center before stepping your right foot back to meet your left. Now let's curl the left toes under, sliding the left foot towards the back edge of your mat. Reach your heel towards that back edge to just stretch through the back of the leg even more so. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to hug your left knee in towards your heart before stepping your left foot through. Walk that right knee back in space if you are looking for a little bit more of a stretch. So fingers are framing your front foot here. Your knee is stacked over top of your ankle. And then on your next breath in, send your hands high into the sky. Hug the belly button in towards the spine. And then breathe out. Breathe in. And then when you breathe out, interlace your fingers and then send your hands to the back of your head. Extend the thumbs down, elbows go wide. Breathe in to lift your heart, lift your chin slightly. I am open. Breathe in, sending the breath to your heart. And then breathe out to release that bind, sending your hands high into the sky. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to fold forward, planting your right palm on the ground beside the inner arch of your left foot. Breathe in to send your left hand to the sky. Follow that hand, exploring a beautiful spinal twist here. And then breathe out to lower your left hand to the ground. Plant your palms on your mat and then step it back to a tabletop position. Now walk your wrists underneath your shoulders and then forward a little bit and then off to the long edges of your mat. Press into your fingertips and into your knuckles. Curl your toes under. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to peel your tailbone towards the sky, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Right away, I invite you to pedal out your feet here, dropping one heel towards the earth at a time as you bend one knee in at a time. So we're looking between our feet. We're hugging the belly button in towards the spine. All right. And then we eventually find stillness here. I now invite you to really bend your knees, coming up onto the balls of your feet. Your heart releases closer towards your thighs to get a beautiful opening in the heart, beautiful stretch in the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out to straighten through the legs, releasing your heels closer towards the ground. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Now anchor through your right heel. As you breathe in, sweep your left foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Breathe out to hug your left knee in towards your heart center, shifting forward just like in plank, and then step your left foot through. All right, find your footing. So pressing into your foundation. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, begin to rise on up, sending your hands high into the sky, high lunge. So our front knee is stacked either slightly behind or directly over top of that front ankle. Direct your hips to face forward by peeling the left hip crease back. Heart faces forward. Chest facing forward. Back heel is lifted. And you can also find a small bend in that back knee just to align the head over the heart, heart over the pelvis. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to begin to bend at your elbows, finding goalpost arms, thumbs are back, pinkies are facing forward. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky. Breathe out to bend, lift your heart, lift your chin slightly. Breathe in, hands to the sky. Breathe out to bend. Breathe in, finding your high lunge. And then when you breathe out, pivot on that back foot. So placing your whole foot down on the ground, toes pointing in. And then find your warrior two, sending your arms from left to right, bending into that front knee even more. Wonderful. Now flip your palms over to face towards the sky, just to signify, that we're open to receiving whatever that is that you feel open to receiving, if anything. Breathe in, and then breathe out to lower that back hand to that back leg. Reach your left hand forward, and then bring that left hand to the sky and then behind, finding a peaceful warrior. Keep a bend in that front knee. Roll your left shoulder back. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to find your warrior two, flipping the palms down to face towards the ground. Breathe in, breathe out to release your hands to your hips. Pivot on that back foot so that way the ball of your foot is on the ground and your heel is lifted. Find a small bend in that back knee as you step the right foot up to meet your left. Breathe in, sending both hands high into the sky, and then breathe out to grab opposite elbow. So opposite hand grabs opposite elbow. Breathe in to stand tall, lift your heart. And then breathe out to tilt over towards the right side, keeping this little bind that we have, bumping the hips over towards the left, pressing into both feet as evenly as possible. Breathe in to come back to center, and then breathe out to tilt over towards the left side, bumping the hips to the right. Breathe in, coming back to center. And then as you breathe out, begin to bend at your knees, hinge forward at your hips, sending the bum back in space. So we're coming into a standing forward fold. Elbows and hands are still exactly where they are. And now find a gentle sway from side to side. offering a lovely release to the low back. Allow your head and your neck to grow heavy here. Beautiful. Find stillness as you release your fingertips to the earth. Now plant your palms on the ground and then step your right foot back, followed by your left foot. We arrive in a plank pose. Press away from your mat. Shoulder blades go from left to right. We're doming up through the upper back body, bracing the core. Breathe in here. And then when you breathe out, send the hips to the sky, finding your downward facing dog. Find any movement that will feel loving and supportive today. So again, you can pedal out your feet. You can explore exquisite stillness. You can wag that tail if that feels good. And then we eventually find stillness. Anchor through the left heel, so the left heel growing heavy. Breathe in to sweep your right foot high into the sky, three-legged dog. And then breathe out to hug the right knee in towards your heart center, shifting forward before stepping your right foot through. So find your footing, your hands are framing that right foot. Knee is over top of the ankle or slightly behind. Breathe in here, breathe out. On your next breath in, hugging everything in towards center as you rise on up, finding your high lunge. Legs are strong, you got this. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to bend at your elbows. Lift your heart, maybe even finding a small back bend here. Breathe in, hands to the sky. Breathe out to bend at the elbows. Breathe in. Slow and controlled, hands to the sky. And then breathe out to bend. Breathe in, hands to the sky. And then breathe out to open up to a warrior two, pivoting on that back foot, sinking maybe a little bit deeper into this posture. Draw your pinkies back in space to open up through the chest, and then turn your palms over to face towards the sky. Turn to look past your right fingertips. Notice how your heart feels here. Perhaps sending breath down to this area. Beautiful. Release that back hand to the back leg. Reach your right hand forward and then up towards the sky and then back and behind. Peaceful warrior. Keep a bend in that front knee. Open up through your heart. Breathe in. And then breathe out two. Make your way back to a warrior two. Breathe in here, palms facing towards the ground. And then breathe out to bring your hands to your hips. Pivot on that back foot so that way your heel's lifted away from the ground. Find a small bouncing action in that back knee before stepping your left foot up to meet your right at the top of your mat. Great work. Breathe in to bend your knees, send both hands high into the sky. Breathe out to send your hands back in space, leading with your heart as you fold forward, bend at your knees. Breathe in to find a halfway lift. Taking airplane arms, so reaching your hands towards the back edge of your mat. Arms are about parallel to the ground. We're hugging belly button in towards the spine, reaching the crown of our head towards the top or the front of your room. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to fold and release. Breathe in, both hands high into the sky. This time, bring your hands together, and then to your heart. And then we begin to fold it on down. Breathe in to find a halfway lift, taking airplane arms, spread through your fingers, sending energy past those fingertips. Perhaps you can feel a little bit of a tremble here. And then breathe out to fold on down. Plant your palms on your mat and then step it back to a high plank. Wonderful. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to lower down onto your forearms, stacking your elbows underneath your shoulders. Lower your bum, forearms are parallel to one another. You got this. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to lower your hips down to the earth. Untuck your toes, tops of the feet, ground down, root down into the earth. Rock your pelvis forward to feel that beautiful connection to the earth. Spread your fingers, open your heart, open your chest. Tuck in your chin slightly, and I invite you to look down and past your nose. Perhaps right here you take a moment to consider today's theme, this heart-opening theme. Maybe you consider, what does it mean to open your heart or to be open? Perhaps you consider what you're open to receive today, maybe on your mat. Maybe you take this understanding forward with you off of the mat. Or perhaps you are here enjoying this beautiful back bend. All right, I now invite you to turn your head to look past your right shoulder, pressing into both of your elbows, especially that left elbow to deepen the stretch. Beautiful. Bring your head back through center and then look past your left shoulder, pressing into especially that right elbow, breathing into the right side of your neck. And then bring your head back to center. We breathe on in through the nose. And then when we breathe out, let it go through the mouth. Great work. Lower and release that. Ooh, the arms may be feeling really nice right now. And now we are going to lay on our backs. So you can turn around. All right. And then whenever you get there, walk your feet in towards your bum. Feet are about hip distance apart with your knees pointing towards the sky. Place your hands at your sides, inching the fingertips closer towards your heels. Now, if you have a yoga block handy, feel free to place that block between your thighs and then squeeze that block with your thighs. So this just helps with engagement, and it also helps prevent the knees from coming out in bridge pose. Now, if you're working without a yoga block, just use that beautiful creative mind and imagine that you are hugging that or squeezing that yoga block between the thighs. Okay. As you breathe in, send the hips towards the sky. Open up through the heart, lifting the chest towards the chin and then the chin slightly towards the sky. Option to stay here, or you can send your hands towards the sky and then towards the back of your room. Arms hover away from the ground. Breathe in here. And then when you breathe out, begin to lower your hips back down to the earth as you send your arms back the way that they came. Nice and slow. So 2 more times just like that, syncing the breath to the action. Breathing in to lift the hips to the sky as you send your arms up and overhead, and then back towards the back edge of your mat. And then on the breath out, we lower everything back down to the earth, spine receiving a lovely massage. 1 more, breathe in. See how slow you can go with this movement, as if you're moving through molasses. And then on your next breath out, slowly lower and release back down to the ground. Great work. Remove that yoga block. If you're using one, you can place that item off to the side. And now send your legs out long on your mat. Begin to shimmy your upper body towards the top right-hand side of your mat as you walk your legs towards the bottom right-hand side of your mat. I kind of forgot that I was leading a class, so there we go. All right, now send your hands to the sky. And then with your right hand, grab your left wrist as you gently stretch it on out here. If you are looking for a bit of a deeper stretch, feel free to place your left ankle over top of your right ankle, just to deepen the stretch. I like to imagine that I'm kind of like making a banana shape or a crescent moon shape with my body as I stretch it on out here. Breathing some love, perhaps into the left side, the left ribs. Okay, unravel and then center yourself on your mat. Walking the feet towards the bottom left hand corner now as you begin to shimmy your shoulders as well as your head towards the upper left hand corner. You can send your hands back to the sky, resting the tops of your hands on the ground. Your left hand now grabs your right wrist. And then you can even place your right ankle over top of your left ankle if you are looking to deepen the stretch. Beautiful. Unravel. You can now center yourself on your mat. And now this time, walk the legs, taking up space towards the long edges of your mat. Allow the feet to just grow heavy and fall open like a book. All right, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back body, tucking in your chin slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. Place your left hand on your heart space, and then your right hand gently rests on top of your left hand. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, close your eyes. Take a moment to notice how your heart feels. Perhaps you can feel the warmth of your hands on your chest, on your heart space. Perhaps you notice your heart beating underneath your hands. Perhaps you feel some emotion or you notice some emotion bubbling to the surface. Just acknowledge those feelings, those emotions, the thoughts, without passing any judgment. Just observing, noticing. Maybe the heart feels lighter. Or maybe you received a really good stretch in the chest today. So maybe there's a little bit more spaciousness that has been created in this beautiful area of the body. Now remember, there's no right or wrong answer. I always just extend an invitation for you to just reflect, consider, notice. And whatever understandings you learn here on the mat, perhaps you apply them off the mat or you take that with you. Hello, angel. All right. Bring your hands together, palms together. And then bring your thumbs to your sternum, to your heart. Breathe in through your nose. And then on your breath out, just sigh it out through the mouth. One more time. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Thank you so very much for joining me here today. I hope that you enjoyed today's heart-opening yoga flow. See you in the next class, and take good care. We close today's practice by saying Namaste.